Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a multi-part series where I filmed earlier this year up in a place called Järpen in Sweden with a good friend and a very esteemed gunsmith called Filip Örnerkrans. In this episode, I pitch a question to Filip and he answers it in amazing detail. Is a straight pull less accurate? I was talking to someone the other day and they were telling me because of the straight pull action on it, that they can never be as accurate as a bolt action. It lost me a little bit. It was talking about how the bolt locks in with the lugs and stuff, but
that's a complete lie.
Yeah, I mean, like,
there's no bearing to it whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't myself work it out because I thought once something's locked in and the bullet's in place, like how can the bolt mechanism affect past the bullet, you know?
The thing is, like, this action, first of all, it's probably the strongest. I don't know of any stronger action on the market.
Yes.
And from CIP standards, every rifle is supposed to be able to handle 8,000 bars of peak pressure. Mm-hmm. This mechanism is constructed so that it increases lock durability with pressure. Mm-hmm. So the more pressure I put from front, the stronger it locks. Mm-hmm. And this is a very simple but genius construction where it uses the same function as the scope function. I mean, the recoil of the rifle goes backwards.
Yes.
And this one wants to go forward.
Yes.
And the body inside, the firing pin body is very heavy. Mm-hmm. So that becomes a counterproduct.
Yes.
Which makes the locking lugs just want to open more the harder I put pressure on.
Yes.
And the size, the sheer dimension of the locking lugs, 4 locking lugs, is bigger on any than any like old Mauser or Soko. They have bigger locking areas.
Yes.
And it locks completely round.
Yes.
The problem you have when you have like 2 locking lugs is that one will connect better than the other one. Then you get a twist.
Interesting. Yeah.
So these ones, they will adapt to the locking area. And you know, it's a stronger lock, and it's definitely compared to most extremely well made precision wise. But so the thing that would actually have a great impact to precision. Yes. People think that's the muscle.
Yes.
The muscle isn't that important.
Interesting.
You can cut it off and with a you know, rotating tool, whatever. Yes. And then shoot it a couple of shots later. It will perform about the same. But what actually has a great effect is straightness of chamber. Towards barrel. And bolt face. And locking lugs towards chamber. So everything is aligned. As soon as you have something that's off, this means that the bullet will hit the rifling sideways. Over doing it, but hitting the rifling sideways, which will make it not perform.
And so if you have 2 lugs like you were talking about, is there a chance that it like would just like exaggerate a little bit, like one will line up, Betty was saying, will that throw the bullet like slightly off the same way every time, or every time you lock it down can the bullet be off a little bit more?
No, it will. There's so many variations here. I mean, if you have a big chamber, the cartridge can lie differently in the chamber. So this will affect also how the bullet hits the rifling. But normally, I mean, what the cause of if you have 2 locking lugs, or if you have 8 locking lugs, or 12 locking lugs, and somebody has 9 locking lugs, not all of them will be in contact. This means that one side will be weaker than the other. And that will affect straightness of the bolt face, which takes like it's the seat of the cartridge when you fire, and this makes the cartridge press sideways, and the bullet hits sideways. So if you have a 2 lock system, it will make kind of the same problem every time in your rifle, but depending on if you have a really wide chamber, then you might have differences from it anyhow. But the effect on on the bolt lugs will be the same. They will take the stress the same way.
That's interesting. Yeah.
But saying that this one couldn't perform precision, we have bench rest shooters shooting this one competition.
Yes. Yeah.
With standard barrel.
Yeah.
Factory standard barrel from Waterveld.
Yeah.
And shooting extremely tight groups.
Yeah, because like
so that's to be honest, that's bollocks.
Yeah. But it's interesting is because like in my head I thought once something was locked, the tolerances in the chamber, you know what I mean, like I kind of felt like the precision would be up to the barrel after that. But like from just talking to you, it actually, you know, I didn't even think about how the bullet's sitting in the chamber once it's locked in there. So yeah.
And you have some ammunition is manufactured closer to min requirements, and some are closer to max. And also when you make a chamber, you have a reamer.
Yes.
And if you say, let's say we do 100 barrels with one reamer.
Yes.
The first chamber will be bigger than the last.
Yes.
Due to wear.
Yeah.
So all these things have an effect.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And I mean, we can go on
forever about it. Yeah.
It's a rabbit hole.
Yeah,
you shouldn't go down there.
No, but like once my brain starts spinning over a little bit, I need some answers. You know, even if I don't quite understand everything, it gets me going in the right direction. You know.
It's interesting looking at people when you are, you know, when you have acquired the knowledge that I have around rifles.
Yes.
Where people are reloading and kind of going down to that rabbit hole.
Yes.
Just run reloading. And they're talking about nodes of, you know, barrel nodes and stuff, and they're totally like focused on that.
Yes.
And they become extremely knowledgeable and extremely good at it.
Yes.
The problem is that they don't really understand the tool. So there are actually barrels that will never shoot. There are actually rifles that construction-wise will not be able to perform.
Yes.
And there are other combinations like the scope rings with that special Picatinny rail. You buy a Picatinny rail that doesn't follow mil-spec standards. There are lots of those. And all these things, how your shooting technique, how your firing technique, all these things.
Yes.
And the inside of the rifle, the barrel.
Yes.
Is the chamber straight? Is the bolt face straight? Is the locking lug straight? You know, all these things affect to the same degree or more in some cases than what you can actually do with your ammunition.
Yeah.
So, you know.
That's interesting.
And that rabbit hole is like when you start going down there. Why do I get this deviation? And you're still down. It's like saying, is there anything straight?
Yes.
You know, a straight line. Is that a straight line? There's nothing straight.
Yes.
It just depends on how thorough you are in measuring.
Yes.
There's no straight lines.
Yeah.
If you look at it.
The microscopic levels, yeah.
Yeah. And it's the same with rifles.
Yeah.
So sometimes just finding what works.
Yeah.
Or for most people, find what works. Work with your technique.
Yes.
And if the rifle shoots like 1.5 inch on 100 meters or like 5 centimeters on 100 meters for somebody hunting wild boar and moose, maybe roe deer, and doesn't shoot long distance, that's good enough. It's good enough. But then again, it's really nice to make 5 shots, 1 hole.
So, fascinating.